What do you think, looking back on that season, so last season, was one of the biggest misconceptions of the Indiana Fever? Like, maybe it was like locker room stuff. I feel like early on,
oh my
like,
gosh, there was so much locker room talk. Oh my gosh, her body language. She was not happy. She hates this entire squad.
What does Aliyah Boston really think of Caitlin Clark? In a brand new interview on Sue Bird's Bird's Eye View podcast, Boston opens up like never before, from her first reaction to Caitlin in college, to being teammates on the Indiana Fever, to how their relationship has grown, and even how she handled Clark's injury. She also spills some juicy locker room revelations that's turning heads. This isn't just a feel-good chat. It's raw, real, and surprisingly hilarious. Comment A, B, and CC to show your support for Aliyah, Caitlin, and the Fever. Let's go.
People in the Fever were like, y'all.
That's not my point. There's a lot of other shit going on that players are like, this ain't where I want to be.
Over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some new shit going on around there.
It's a lot. Yeah. So you have players that are very significant on this Indiana Fever team that are like, I don't
want to be here.
This is where I want to be.
Yeah.
Remember when Sheryl Swoopes said this? Well, Aliyah Boston just delivered the biggest in-your-face moment to Swoopes that just put her in her place. When Caitlin Clark first arrived in Indiana, no one was more curious, or more honest, than Aliyah Boston. The two had faced off in one of the most memorable Final Four matchups in recent memory, and Aliyah didn't forget what Caitlin did that night. In fact, she admits she had to confront it head-on, because dropping 40 on someone's head isn't exactly something you just ignore when you become teammates.
That year, I was like, I forgot, we were like doing something. We had something. I was like, Caitlin, I just want to say, I'm like really upset that you like did what you did in that Final Four game. I was like, I feel like I just need to get it off my chest because like we are teammates, but I'm like, you didn't have to do all that. Like you did not have to go for 40 on our dome. Like, girl, we could have just had fun. But after that, it was like cool because obviously now we're on the same team, so you don't worry about that. But I always thought it was funny because I'm like, we just went from competing against each other, you beating us, and now we're on the same team. It's like, I was like, girl, it's okay, I get it. I'm not mad at you for real, but I am. Because like, why would you do that?
But instead of tension, what came out was something unexpectedly funny, real, and refreshing. Aliyah's take on that moment reveals just how grounded she is, and how quickly she was able to shift from competitor to collaborator. The mutual respect between the two, it was instant. And that bond would only grow stronger once they hit the floor together.
Girl,
you did the thing, made the joke, moved on. That's really what it is.
And then you kind of just move on. You're like, listen, we're on the same team now, so let's whoop some butt. Let's do it.
100%.
As the season unfolded, their chemistry became impossible to ignore. Aliyah shared what makes their connection click, and it goes way beyond the box score. It's about trust, intuition, and knowing when to roll, cut, or seal without ever needing to call for the ball.
Well, you guys do compliment each other. Yeah. And I hear you that it takes time, but like, what do you think it is about each of your games that works well? Like, mostly in the pick and roll. We'll talk pick and roll.
I think honestly, one, like Caitlin, the attention she gets, right? Like teams are like up. Like if they're under and dropped, that shot's going up. Because I'm going to set a good screen, that shot's going up, and she's getting it. And then it's like, okay, well, now I'm going to step up. And she's just a phenomenal passer. Like, her angles, like, she knows exactly where to get it.
Caitlin's passing vision, Aliyah's positioning, and their ability to read each other in real time has made them one of the most electric duos to watch. And when Aliyah explains how she literally watches Caitlin's eyes to decide her next move, you realize this isn't just talent. It's a basketball IQ level that's only going to keep rising.
The way she sees the floor, I think, is great. And then for me, it's always like, I'm always going to get in her pocket because I know that she's looking to pass that ball and she wants to get us in the best position. And so for me, it's like, okay, well, I'm looking at your eyes. So once I see your eyes, I'm there. You don't have to say anything. I'm going.
When Caitlin Clark joined the Fever, it didn't just change the roster, it changed the spotlight. Suddenly, every play was under a magnifying glass, and the pressure was sky high. Aliyah Boston opened up about the whirlwind those first few weeks were, with a new offensive rhythm, unfamiliar dynamics, and the world expecting instant results. Instead of time to gel, they were treated like a super team failing out the gate.
The quote-unquote Caitlin Clark effect is definitely real. I think we all feel it in our unique ways.
100%.
Yeah, how did you experience it? Like, I know early on you talked about logging off social media. Like, what did you just learn in that period of time And by the way, the social media aspect is not Caitlin's fault.
No.
So it's like, but what did you learn just like in that period of time?
Yeah, I mean, everyone loves Caitlin. They love watching Caitlin.
Yeah.
And so I think that just brings so much eyes. And I think for our league, that's great. Like, that is great for us. You have so many people coming in, they're watching. Like I always say, like, they might come in for Caitlin and they leave and they're like, dang, this girl's a hooper too.
Yeah.
Oh, I like her. Like,
you're seeing it
hear
in
so many people say it. You
viewership.
hear, like, everyone says it. And I think you just kind of embrace that.
The media frenzy didn't help. Every missed connection became a conspiracy. Strangers online dissected body language like it was game tape. For Aliyah, it reached a breaking point. She already puts enough pressure on herself. The last thing she needed was trolls questioning her chemistry with a teammate she was still getting to know. So she logged off.
Well, a lot of it too can be people that are trolling. A lot of people are talking. But for me, it's like, I am someone that already puts so much pressure on myself. And so for you to come in and tell me like, dang, you're like the worst person I've ever seen in my life. It's like, you know what? Hear me out. I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
You can stay. I'm going to exit.
Yeah.
But Aliyah never blamed Caitlin. Quite the opposite. She praised her for elevating the league, welcoming the spotlight, and new fans. What she pushed back on was the unrealistic expectation that two young stars would click instantly. That's not how real chemistry works. And now that they've had time to grow together, the results speak for themselves.
Well, there's a lot of
play more.
What kind of things do you feel?
I'm not in the locker room.
Okay,
I ain't
okay,
even
but
on the
this,
team.
I'm
talking about more social media.
Okay.
It's a turn.
Right?
It's a turn, right? It's really a turn of the tides.
Well,
right.
Gil, here's my point. The beginning of the year, right? Everybody saw it.
But then came the drama, or at least the internet's version of it. Suddenly, there were whispers about the locker room, rumors of beef, bad blood, silent treatment. Fans and media decided they had it all figured out. Meanwhile, Aliyah was literally just waking up from a nap. That's right. She logs on, sees the chaos, and all she could do was laugh with her teammates and say, "Y'all good?" That's how real the so-called tension was.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There was so much locker room talk, and
everybody I talked to were like, we vibe, we're good.
I was like, what are we talking about? Like, it's so easy for people to just make all these assumptions. So people are like, oh my gosh, her body language, she was not happy. She hates this entire squad. I don't know. Sometimes when you have a bad game personally, that takes a toll on you.
Yeah.
It's not that you don't like the team. It's not like you, but that takes a toll on you. Every single night we come out, we want to play good. And so like all the time there were locker room talks. I forgot what was the conversation one time. I woke up from my nap, getting ready to go to pregame. People are like, oh, they hate each other. They hate each other. We walked in the locker room. We're like, girl, you good?
Yeah.
I'm like, I just woke up. I couldn't tell you what's happening right now, but all I know is we about to hoop. At 7 p.m., we got a game.
Aliyah makes it clear. Whatever stories were spinning out there were nothing more than noise. The truth? This team was locked in, unified, and focused on one thing: winning. The Fever didn't just protect the locker room, they protected each other. While the outside world ran wild with narratives, the players stayed quiet and let their chemistry do the talking on the court.
I hate when people get into this whole talking about what they think our locker room is like and what they think. I'm like, first of all, you're not in here.
No.
So you have no idea. And also, we're professionals. So if we want you to see something, you'll happily see it. If we don't, I guarantee you, you would never know there's a single problem. Why? Because that's none of your business, and we have more priorities, and that's winning.
So to all the internet detectives and couch coaches who thought they cracked the case, maybe next time, sit this one out. Because what's actually brewing in Indiana isn't drama. It's a problem for every other team in the league. The Fever's return to the playoffs in 2024 was short, but for Aliyah Boston, it was anything but meaningless. She recalls the series against Connecticut with a mix of pride and frustration. They were this close. Game 1 got away from them, but Game 2? They were right there. It wasn't talent that separated the two teams, it was experience. Connecticut's veterans knew how to manage playoff intensity, when to strike, and how to close. That, Aliyah says, was the real lesson.
What did you learn from it?
It's like, we say it all the time in our season now, like margin of error is so small, but when you're going up against a squad that has vets that have been in playoffs, that have won, it's like they know exactly what to do.
Did you feel a jump in
there was a jump in intensity and energy.
Isn't it crazy?
It's palpable. Insane. Like the very first game when we played against Connecticut, like it was close and then they kind of just they took it and they ran with it. And then the second game, it was like, we were right there. Like, we were right there. And then I feel like
What stuck with her most wasn't just the loss, but the feeling that if they had pushed it to a third game back in Indiana, the Fever could have taken it. That belief, that they were almost there, lit a fire. It's one thing to make the playoffs. It's another to leave feeling like you didn't get your shot. And that's what fuels this new chapter.
game, because honestly, I think if we had brought it back to Indy, we were gonna get it. No, we were, because we had just beat them at home. So it's still one of those that's like, dang, if we could have just gotten to that third game, I think we really would have came out and just went bananas. But I think it was a great experience for us. And obviously, like, this year now too, we're like, listen, playoff run, like, we need that. You feel it now, you're like, I need more.
Now, in her third season, Aliyah says the mindset has flipped. No more sneaking up on people. No more underdog narratives. With the off-season additions, new coaching staff, and the Caitlin Clark spotlight, the Fever are now expected to win. That brings pressure, but also purpose. Every team is gunning for them, but Aliyah says they wouldn't have it any other way.
It's a lot of change.
Yes.
You have a coaching change. Yep. You have it's a big free agency year for you guys. And really overnight, what that big free agency year was, or big change was expectations change.
Yes.
So you guys went from like this up and coming, where it's like you're getting to know each other, to now it's like, oh, they could win the whole thing.
Yeah.
So what was the experience of essentially becoming like, instead of being the hunter, you're now the hunted?
Yeah, it's crazy, but I feel like it was definitely expected. Like,
she's clear-eyed about what it takes. Chemistry, consistency, and a refusal to make excuses. Injuries, lineup changes, outside noise. It's all part of the game. But this season, the Fever aren't just showing up to compete, they're coming to dominate. And according to Aliyah, once they figure things out completely, it's going to get scary for everyone else.
But then you added in Caitlin, right? And everybody's like, oh, like, they're going to be this, and this. And now everybody's like, oh, you know what? We're going to prove you wrong. Like, hell no. Like, that's how it is. And then this year too, obviously we go in the free agency and everybody's like, yeah, like they got, for us, we always think like you have to approach every season with like, we're winning this whole season. So that was our mindset. And I think when you look at expectations, once again, expectations come from everyone outside. Cause like in our circle, we know exactly what we want to do. We also understand that it's a process. We understand that new faces, new coaches, like different style play for people joining us. It's like people need time to figure it out once again. But when you do figure it out, it's going to be scary.
The 2025 season didn't exactly follow the Fever's dream script. What started with soaring expectations quickly met reality. And that reality hit hard with a wave of injuries, most notably to Caitlin Clark. For a young team still building its identity, losing such a central figure mid-season could have unraveled everything. But according to Aliyah Boston, this team doesn't flinch.
It's definitely been a struggle, but I think just at the start of the season too, like, you know, you have your start of the season meetings and you're talking, and for us it was about, listen, like no matter what happens in the season, it's next woman up and you have to be ready. And I feel like obviously struggling with injuries, and then, you know, you sign people and then they leave, and it's like, listen, like whoever is next, be ready to play, because it doesn't matter. Like the games still keep coming. Like you still have to be ready to compete. And
she explains that from day one of the season, the message was clear. Next woman up. Injuries are inevitable, but excuses aren't. Whether it's a starter or a role player, everyone's expected to be ready to step in and contribute. That mindset, she says, has been the backbone of their ability to keep competing night in and night out, even with key pieces missing.
Curious, specific to Caitlin being on the floor, off the floor. And I saw you talk on your own podcast about like the spacing and how different it is. But when you're entering a game, like your mental prep, how does it change? Because it's two different systems essentially.
It is.
Still, losing Caitlin Clark wasn't just losing a playmaker. It shifted the entire flow of their offense. Aliyah talked about how different it feels playing with and without Caitlin on the floor. When she's out there, you're always on alert. The ball moves faster, the tempo spikes, and defenses stretch further. Aliyah said it best. When Caitlin's playing, be ready to run.
Honestly, like when C is on the floor, I'm like, listen, be ready to run. Be ready to get out. Be ready because she's looking.
Yeah,
she's looking.
going.
She wants to play fast.
Yeah.
Super early in the offense. And like, we do that too as well here. But I think sometimes too now without her, like we can get into like a little more half court execution, make the defenses work a little bit harder, first side, second side, third side. And then I think when you have like Kelsey, when Kelsey's playing in transition, get that ball up to her and make her
I've never seen anybody so bouncy.
Like she is unbelievable. And
like,
then when
what
you
is in
put her
those shoes?
In screens, it's like, what do you do?
Bouncing all over.
She is moving. She's making the right read. And it's like, listen, and she's scoring the ball at a very high level. And
without her, the game slows down. The Fever pivot to more half-court execution, working through multiple options and forcing teams to defend deeper into the shot clock. It's not better or worse, just different. And learning to thrive in both systems has made the Fever more adaptable. Aliyah credits this flexibility as one of their biggest strengths in an otherwise rocky season.
when she's on the floor, like she's looking to get up, people can be like, listen, I don't need to outlet because I know once we rebound, we're getting it up. But I also think it, once again, it's like puts people on their toes because they're like, whoa, I need to find Kelsey in transition. I need to find Ari now. Like we got to find Sophie and Lexi knocking down threes. Like it's different, but I think everyone is once again finding their own rhythm, and that we just did a great job of like putting it all together.
But let's be clear, Clark's absence hasn't been easy emotionally either. Aliyah acknowledged how tough it is seeing a teammate go down, especially someone as competitive and invested as Caitlin. But she also knows Caitlin will be back, and that gives them even more motivation to keep fighting. Every win they scrap together now is one step closer to being playoff ready when she returns. What's helped them weather this storm? Veteran leadership. Aliyah was quick to point out how players like Natasha Howard, Kelsey Mitchell, Sophie Cunningham, and especially Sydney Colson have become the glue. Whether it's calming nerves, setting the tone, or cracking the right joke at the right time, these vets have been instrumental in keeping the locker room focused and upbeat.
What impact has having more vets on the team? Because that's a little different from your first 2 years.
Yeah, no, seriously, I think it's been great. Seriously, it's been a blessing for me. It was crazy. We were just talking to Sid about this on the plane ride over here, and I was like, listen, like, it's great to have you guys because, like, we're young players, and like sometimes we still have that mindset of like, oh my gosh, I need to be perfect. Like I need to, and having vets like Tosh and Sid, like honestly, like I know everyone thinks Sid like the comedic person, like so funny, but I think getting to know Sid and who she is, she's like the best person for any locker room and for our locker room. Like
Aliyah even shared a story about Sydney Colson, often seen as the team's comedic spirit, showing a whole other side behind the scenes. She knows when to speak up, how to pull someone aside, and what to say to get their mindset right. That kind of leadership, Aliyah says, can't be taught. It's felt. And in a season full of chaos, it's been everything.
She knows exactly what to say. She knows exactly how to say it, how to be in your ear and just continuously talking to you. And it's just like, it's perfect. I told her, I was like, listen, I hear you talking. Sometimes I'm like trying not to crash out internally, but I promise I'm hearing what you're saying. Like I really am. And I think just having those vets, like vets that know how to win, but also know how to like tell you like, you're good. It's a process. The journey. Not every game is going to be great, but keep shooting. Yeah. And I feel like that's like how we've been with each other, is that mindset of like every shot you take, be confident in it.
So while 2025 may have started as a challenge, the Fever have turned it into a crash course in resilience. They're learning to win ugly, to adapt, to trust each other under pressure. And with every injury and every adjustment, they're building something stronger. Because once this team is healthy and whole again, that early season adversity might just be the best thing that ever happened to them. Now, here we are. The Fever locked in a battle with the Las Vegas Aces in the WNBA semifinals, and every game feels like a dogfight. The series is shifting back to Indiana, and the energy is razor sharp. What makes this moment even more stunning? Indiana's doing this while battling through injuries to 6 key players. The odds seemed stacked against them, but rather than folding, they've leaned into the chaos. And Aliyah Boston? In the words of head coach Stephanie White, she's been the team's rock, walking that line between fierce competitor and emotional anchor, showing the league what happens when a team refuses to let adversity define them. As this series returns to Indiana, they're not just fighting for the win, they're fighting for a statement. The Fever may be battered, but they are never beaten. Aliyah Boston didn't just show up this season, she leveled up. Through injuries, media storms, and sky-high expectations, she's remained the anchor of a team that refuses to break. And alongside Caitlin Clark and the rest of the Fever, they've turned doubt into fuel and adversity into identity. The Indiana Fever are here, they're for real, and they're not done yet. So, if you've been sleeping on them, now's the time to wake up. Because the best is still to come. Comment AB and CC to show your support for Aliyah, Caitlin, and the Fever. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.